Hello and welcome. Welcome to Oz by Drone. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and see if a few people join. But in the meantime, I'll share with you a little bit about where I am. I'm currently in Seoul, Korea, specifically in a place called Hongdae. And we've been staying here for a couple of weeks now with my family and catching up with a few friends who live in Seoul. So let's go and quickly tour around. Before I do anything though, behind me, we've got a temporary tourist centre that's popped up over here in the background. Now, I'm just going to go and share, for those people who have heard of this, BTS is one of the big exports from Seoul. It's a boy band kind of thing from Seoul. And you can now get this Discover Seoul Day Pass, which is a 24-hour pass that provides access to all travel and everything you need to get around Seoul. And it's got their BTS favourite people on the front of it, so that's a little bit of a marketing thing as well. And over here at the moment, we've got this Seoul Discovery Centre. So I did say hello to these people a few moments ago. Let's quickly go inside. Hello. Hello. So how long will this be here? This facility?
Will be about 11 days.
11 days.
Yes.
And what's the reason for this period?
For introduce the Seoul, especially in Hongdae.
Okay, in Hongdae. What are the best things to see in Hongdae? Tell me.
홍대 최고.
역시 공연, 거리 공연.
Yes, street festivals.
Street festivals?
Yes, like dance or music, sing a song.
Yeah.
Yes, like that.
Yeah. So I've been staying here already for 2 weeks with my family, and every night there's street festivals and music and magicians and all sorts of stuff. It's a very vibrant part of Korea here to come to. So if you ever do want to come, Hongdae, and our house where we stay is just around the corner. Really good place accommodation to stay there called Homie House. Anyway, bye-bye. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. So let's go for a walk a little bit further. Down here we've got just one of the streets in Hongdae. Yeah, it does sound like a lot of fun. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of construction work happening at the moment, as you can see. Hi, Chris. A lot of construction work happening. They're doing some new buildings there. And of course, for people like us, one of the most important things that we have in this area, very, very close to where I'm living, is the DJI store. I'm sure you can see that in the background over there. If you like, in a couple of minutes, I can go inside. I did a live broadcast from there last week on Ken's show, and we can try that again in a couple of minutes. But just remember that DJI have some rules. We're not allowed to have the faces of their staff or any of their customers on the screen if we go inside the DJI store. But let's go for a little bit more of a walk. Love autocorrect. Zen my bad. Okay. So we're just going a little bit further down here at the moment. I'll turn the camera around so I can... There we go. So coming down here, this is the local tourist information centre, and I'm guessing that the centre that we just went to a minute ago, it's a temporary tent that they've got there for a couple of weeks, but this is the permanent centre. Enjoy Hongdae Cultural Tour. And again down here, BTS, for people of my daughter's age, they absolutely love and go crazy. She had to film herself down here the other day. Yeah, anyway. So back to just exploring. We've got these different street vendors, some restaurants and whatnot down here. Let's just say that my Western stomach didn't do so well with some of the food when I first got here, so I've been eating a little bit of more traditional westernized food, and that's done well for me. But Some of my other family members have been enjoying some food here. We went out to a fish market. Don't get BTS old fart. Okay, let's go a little bit further. We've got Horta, Yankee Candle, all sorts of different stores down here. I'm just going to go a little bit further to the main street that's in our area and show you that, and then we'll leave it there for today. Love the name, a restaurant of kimchi cooking. Kimchi, for those of you who are not familiar with some of the Korean terms, it's type of, I suppose, pickled, spicy, cabbagey thing. Very, very traditional Korean type of food. Going a little bit further, here we go. So as we get to this area, and if you do ever want to stay in Korea, I would strongly recommend staying in this area. It's the center of Korea. The problem is there's no real hotels around here, so you'd have to do an Airbnb. But just over here, we've got the Hongik University subway entrance, and this is entrance number 8. This is where we start or end our day every day if we're going on the trains, and the train system is really good. It's easy to get around as a foreigner. You've just got to follow the colours and the lines, and it's pretty good. Like Melbourne and Sydney in the morning. Yeah. What else have we got over here? Just lots and lots and lots of buildings. The one thing that's very different compared to, I suppose, Australian culture is having stores and retail stores stacked on top of each other. So this morning I went to Charlie Brown for coffee, and it wasn't on the ground floor, it was up on the first floor. Just a little bit different to what I'm used to. But other than that, beautiful, beautiful place to stay. So before I finish for today, I'll just ask, does anyone want me to go back to the DJI store for anything? I can do that if you want. So I'm looking at the screen and seeing if anyone wants anything to have a look at there. Is there anything you want to take a look at? The one thing I was thinking of getting, in fact I went back there this morning, P4 V2. I'd love a P4 V2 as well. I've only got a V1. And yeah, it's a little bit annoying, P4 V1. But, you know, the Phantom range has ended. There we go. Anyone else? Anyone else want to see anything in the DJI store? I suppose you all want to see a Phantom 5 or an Inspire 3. It was good how that little rumour got started last week. Would love to get away. 12 degrees in Hobart. Yeah, it's pretty cold here too. This is theoretically the end of winter over here, going into summer now. But we've got a particularly cold day today. So here we are back at the DJI store. And for those who ever do visit Seoul, Korea, we've got the ground floor where all of the retail and consumer kind of products are. The industrial products are up on the first floor, as well as kind of a DJI version of a Genius bar. On the next floor up is an internal repair floor, and down below is a mini theaterette where you can go and have a look at some of the DJI products. So let's go inside. So now to have a better look around. So the one thing that I was looking at was getting the Osmo case. So I've been obviously traveling around a fair bit recently and that looked pretty cool. Don't know if I like the price tag though. It's about $200 Australian roughly. I've already got the Osmo expansion kit. I've got some memory. I don't need the mounting kit. I'm all good with that. We've got some filters there. The Osmo itself, we've got a nice little tripod there. That's interesting. It's a Ronin S holder, maybe. So yeah, this is a PGY Tech version of the bracket that I gave away a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's a lot for the case, but it's a charging case. So $200, but it's got a battery built into it. So you open it up. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. Hang on. There we go. So it's a charging case. You go and put your device in there and it's charging it. So $200, is it worth it? I personally, I'm carrying a Phantom 4 battery along with me as I'm traveling and got the adapter for USB on that. But back to this one over here. This one looks interesting. It's similar to the device I was reviewing a little while ago on my channel. So that looks pretty reasonable. Osmo, Mavic 2, Mavic 2 Zoom Pro. We've got some goggles. The smart controller out of stock. Dum, dum, dum. Maybe it's been discontinued too. No, I'm only kidding. No rumours. And all of the Mavic Air stuff with the prop guards and the spark. Control stick protector. Crystal Sky mounting brackets. Any questions from anyone? Anything you absolutely must see? And I spoke about this one on Ken's show last week, the Ronin for a DSLR camera. Very, very nice. My wife fell in love with it. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Some more Ronin accessories, command units, grips, universal mount. Candid tourist, you love the Ronin? Yeah. Hot shoe bracket and so on up there. Some cases, some controllers. The one thing I'd think about getting while I'm here is like a Crystal Sky, but I guess the only thing I don't like is the operating system. I wish there was an iOS version. $129 for the case. Is that US dollars? I was talking Australian dollars, 200 Australian. Inspire 2, of course. Gotta love that. But the Crystal Sky, is this here or not? No, I think we've got a box only. Let me just see if I can find out. Again, I can't film the guys, I'm not allowed to. Do you have Crystal Sky in stock?
Crystal Sky?
Crystal Sky, in stock or no stock?
Always is.
Okay. That's the one thing I'd consider buying. When I was flying over here recently, the weather was very, very overcast and difficult to see the screen on my little iPhone, my trusty iPhone. Some of the more bigger, beefier accessories for the Ronin over here. So a separate hand controller for some of these devices. The Ronin 2, the Ronin MX and so on.
We have stock.
You have stock? Okay. But
This.
just not here at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So they've got the Crystal Sky. So we got the 5.5, the 7.85 and the 7.85 Ultra. I'll have to think about that and see if I can convince myself. The one good thing, I suppose, is my luggage is already at the number of kilos that I'm allowed to take home. So I guess that'll prevent me buying lots of nice toys. What else have we got over here? HDMI cables, HDMI. This is what I've been using. This, is it nailed to the shelf? No. One of the best things I ever got, connect that into your Phantom battery and use it as a USB charger when you're out and about. I've used that every single day while I'm traveling. Really, really helpful. Lens hood for a Mavic Pro. Let's turn that around again. There we go. So when you do get this part over here, you definitely also need to get the 10-pin adapter for your particular battery type, and there's different ones available depending on what type of battery you've got. We've got the Tello and all of its lovely bits and pieces over here. Let's go upstairs quickly. Actually, some PGY Tech accessories. Control stick protectors, Osmo controller wheel. This one I've already got while I was here, an audio connection so I can use my microphone with my pocket, so that's pretty cool. Let's go upstairs. Oh yeah, don't forget the Tello. Good old Mr. Tello. Okay, going upstairs. Last week we had the staff here do some flying in the cage. We won't do that today because I didn't let them know I was coming today. But let's quickly share the M200 series, getting into the big boys' toys now. Definitely nice. Some other accessories here, a flame wheel. I don't know what that is. Multi-rotor airframe. Don't know what that is. We've got an A2 flight controller autopilot system, so if you're using that on some of your own devices. We've got a Wukong autopilot from Multi-Rotor there. A NASA multi-rotor light and a NASA multi-rotor V2. So for those of you who are into building your own drones, definitely got a lot of components there outside of the traditional boxed products. And over here we got the M600 Pro. And I'm just looking at another drone on the right. I don't know, this would be another variant of that that's already got the bracket connected for a gimbal and camera down below. I don't know the specifics of the variant there, but there's our M600 Pro. And last but not least, the Matrice 100. We saw all this last week, but I just thought I'd give one more of a look around because I'm leaving Korea very, very soon, leaving on Sunday morning. So let me ask, are there any questions or anything you want to see in the DJI store before I go? And just letting you know, there's a Genius bar section over here. I'm just trying to hold the phone because there's someone around the corner and we're not allowed to film people here. Any questions about the DJI store of things you'd want to see before I leave Korea? Just so you know, there's another 2 floors above. The next floor up is the local Korean repair centre, apparently. I've been asked not to film there and that's fine. And the floor above that is their offices. Let me quickly take you down to the Hall of Inspire. We're going to go for a quick little trip down to the basement. This is where they make the secret squirrel components. Maybe we'll get some secrets. What do you reckon? This is where they also do a lot of tech briefings and let you know about everything that's new. And along that way, we've got the Osmo Pocket sitting pretty prominently there. G'day iSpike. So sitting at the Hall of Inspire. Now, this is where the good stuff lives. Let's see. This is the stuff that we've got to look at. Oh, Phantom Vision, some of the original Phantom aircraft on display. This is where it all began for DJI. And this is now what I would describe as museum aircraft, because these things are not available for sale. The Phantoms are in the museum. And finally over at the top over here. Is there one up the top? No, that one's empty. So just having a look over here. 2012, the original Phantom, then the Phantom 2, Phantom 2 Vision, Phantom 2 Vision Plus, Phantom 3 Professional, Advanced, Standard, and then Phantom 4, only 2 years ago. So we've got one more little place to go to over here.
Into a story worth telling.
So this is a little mini theaterette where they got some video footage talking about the Osmo Pocket at the moment on a loop. And now we've got another 2. So if anyone's ever visiting Seoul, Korea, definitely come to Hongdae. You should feel right at home in the museum, you old fossil, ha ha ha. Thanks, Spikey. Who's calling who a fossil? I think you got a few years on me, sunshine. Okay, we're going back upstairs. We'll leave the DJI store now unless anyone's got any questions. Something you want to see. There we go. So going outside again. There we go. So like I said, Seoul, Korea, Hongdae, that's where the DJI flagship store is in Korea. One of a very few flagship stores globally, so if you do want to go and do a little bit of a DJI tour and you'd prefer not to go to China, Korea is a really beautiful place to come visit. And definitely worthwhile visiting this area. We had a lot of fun. I've got a lot of video editing to do when I get back. We had some very embarrassing karaoke nights and so on. A lot of places we visited, some temples. I'll share some of that when I get back to Australia. But I think I'll finish where I started, just getting back to that tourist centre. Here we go. So if you do come, there's a lovely place to stay here in Hongdae, and you can get those passes. They give you unlimited access to all of the travel and transport. And certainly over here, I'll share with you just out of interest where I've been staying. Just over here we've got a 7-Eleven and a Churro 101 sitting very close. And actually I've got to share this before I finish. What you're looking at right here is what we can't do in Australia, is build internet. But look how they do it. So many wires up there. And as I was looking at it before, I was in a coffee shop across the road, and they've got tags on there of how high vehicles can drive. Again, this is the street leading to where I'm staying. It's a small little back lane. And where those red motorbikes are, that's where our apartment is. So if anyone ever does want to come to Seoul, and look me up and I'll let you know the name of the Airbnb place to stay. Beautiful apartment.
Hello.
Hey. So just upstairs there, staying on the first floor. It's a nice place to stay, definitely. Anyway, that's all. Next week we'll be back with the regular Ausbuy drone. Where's the sun? I can't find it. It's all overcast. No matter which way you look, the sun's pretty bad. So I'll be back next week with the regular Ausbuy drone. I don't know who the guest is or who's the co-host or anything. I'll worry about that when I get home. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you liked our tour of the DJI store, you know what to do. Hit that old thumbs up. If you thought it was rubbish, well, you can hit the other one too. It's okay. I won't hate you any. And definitely leave a comment, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.